Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, June 28th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a few things. Number one, if you do have a request for analysis for me to do in a future video, go ahead, leave that request down below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to that. Second, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then finally, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, FFIE. I think this is now the third day in a row I've done this one, but the upwards move continues. Good solid volume. And for those of you that watched yesterday's video, the big challenge coming into today was, okay, is the price going to be able to break up through that pink line there, which is the very stubborn and very key 200 period moving average, and broke above it beautifully today. So that would now be considered what I would call the ideal level of support. I mean, if you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute healthiest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay above that pink line again. And let's just call it right there at 0.486. So 0.486 would be the ideal level. Now, with that being said, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But that is where the purple line here comes into play, the 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, this line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So in other words, it's basically an overall trend line that's drawn us sell for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote trend line, then the overall trend is still plenty in the bull's favor. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here. Literally just a question of where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at the 69-cent mark. So keep a close eye on that moving forward. But all things considered, as long as this thing keeps on putting those higher highs and higher lows, that's what it's all about. And that's the key dynamic that you want to see continue to take place, assuming, of course, you're bullish. Next one, GOVX, and we have a nice pattern here that is formed. So this first dynamic that I'm doing, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply this is a great discovery or anything like that. In fact, the exact opposite. I think all sorts of people have drawn a trend line very, very similar to that. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same things and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price comes up here and then breaks up through it, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible dynamic to have. So if you like breakouts, definitely keep an eye on that. And then on the bottom part of the pattern, you can see, let me get this down. We do have a pullback today. There's no denying that. But from the big picture standpoint, with that pullback in play, let me just keep it one color now. We have resistance, we have support, we have the big move up right there. This would be known as a bull flag pattern. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull flag patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next, IONM, and started off today very, very nicely. Big gap up. Price ran all the way up there, and I mean, true story. There were some poor souls that bought right there to only see the price pull back. But this is where things get interesting because the price has finally at least started to level out. Now, let me be very, very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there was a pullback and just because it started to go sideways does not mean that for sure guaranteed this thing is getting, going to head back upwards. My point here is it becomes a lot more plausible. Case in point, if the price was still just dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be some sort of bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just going down. But that's not the case here, right? Again, the price has leveled out. So that dynamic makes this a very interesting situation. Started off strong, pulling back sideways. So is this pullback over? Is the consolidation done? If you like these sorts of scenarios, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, NVDA. This will be a very quick little analysis just because nothing has really changed as far as assuming you've watched past videos. But those of you that haven't, just as a quick recap, essentially we are now officially in a sideways channel pattern. Top of the channel up there at 128, bottom of the channel down there at 121.40. And, sometimes things just need to consolidate. I know a lot of people, get in the habit with NVIDIA of it going straight up every single day, but that's not reality. Consolidations need to happen, and that's apparently what's going on right now. So it just remains a sideways battle, back and forth, who's ultimately going to win. So again, keep an eye on that upper area of resistance there at 128, bottom area of support down there at 121.40. Now, if you're a day trader and you like to, trade the up and down movements, and yeah, this is probably a great time for you. But from an overarching standpoint, it's just currently a back and forth. Next, DNA, very, very nice move today when you stop thinking about where the price was at its lows during the opening 30 minutes and where the price has worked its way up to. Good, solid move, but that does bring about the question, is there any sort of genuine power behind this price movement? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. So let me change that to green to represent support. In my opinion, it's all about this level right here at 0.286. And why is that level so important? And I'm not saying this will occur, but just for example's sake, if the price were to come down here and break down through there, what is that doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it was, which, not to insult your intelligence, that's not exactly a sign of genuine power. When you have a real nice bounce and then the bounce goes right back to where it was. In fact, that's what you would call a dead cat bounce. So at this point, yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. Good, solid bounce. Is there genuine power behind it? Let's see if the price can make progress. How is progress being defined? Again, staying up above 0.286. So let's see if the chart can get that done over the next few days. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event. So a couple things, maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. That's okay. It will be recorded. So send me an email and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. But if you can make it live, then yeah, go get signed up and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, ticker RIVN. And what I like about this one is start off, well, let me take a step back. The overall context is still bullish. It's pretty much just in a bigger picture downtrend right now, but this is all occurring after that gap up. But what it started this morning was a gap down, came down, then a nice surge upwards. And then this is what I like, the nice sideways tight range right here, which also gives a very clear breakout point right there at basically $14.70, give or take a little bit. But you can see right there, acted as resistance, and then today acting as resistance. So none of this guarantees anything, but once again, talking about that whole idea of self-fulfilling prophecies, you got to think a lot of people are watching that same area. So more than plausible to think that if the price can come up here and get a break up through there, that break in of itself could very well create additional buying pressure. So to me, all about 1470 moving forward. So let's see if the price can get a break of it or not. Next one, BSFC, very, very ugly looking chart, but as you longer time viewers know what I'm going to say next, there can be opportunity in the ugly, and that opportunity comes right down here around that purple line there. For twofold, number one, it is that 50-period moving average, and then second, if I were to draw just rough line here, it's basically also that gap close location. So those two things make it, again, not guaranteed, but more than plausible to think that if the price were to come down here, it could very realistically consolidate out and get some sort of bounce. Now, am I saying a bounce all the way up to those highs? I'm not saying that. Of course, that's not impossible, but that's not what I would say the plan of action should be. But from a risk versus reward scenario, this assumes, of course, you're going to be disciplined, honor stops, and all that. And if you're not, you shouldn't even be trading, but that's a whole nother talking topic. But from a risk-reward scenario, because to be fair, maybe this thing continues to flush. That's why you got to manage risk. But if it comes down to this area, find some support, and then you get even a little bit of a moderate bounce relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very nice upside reward. So if you like these scenarios where things are looking pretty ugly, but there is still that potential for a bounce at those key areas of strategic support, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and like NVIDIA, going to go through this one relatively quickly because nothing really new occurred today from an overarching standpoint. Price is still down below that key area of resistance red line there at 199, and then price is still up above that key area of support right there at 193. And then it's just kind of a lot of chopping back and forth. With that being said, though, I mean, just to offer up a little bit more context, still a nice overall looking uptrend. Stuff cannot go upwards every single day. So yeah, consolidations need to happen. And that's what's going on right here. Now, if you really wanted to, you could call this a bull pennant. I would not put the golf hold on here, make it a little bit more visual for you golfers. So you could call this a bull pennant pattern. I would not argue against that at all. But my core point here is that, yes, from an overarching standpoint, nothing really happened today in regards to these key levels. Now, yes, if you're a day trader, I realize it was chopping back and forth a little bit. So from that angle, you could potentially find some trades. But overall, I'd say today was healthy just from a consolidation point of view. Next one, GME, and all things considered, I'd say good, solid, healthy movement. Now, I realize that if you're bought up there as a day trader, yeah, this is probably not looking very good for you as there was a bigger pullback. But from the overarching standpoint, the level that I've talked about in the past right here, that green line at the $24 mark, has been a key area of support. And you can see this morning, price came down there and found some support. And that is important because we have a low here, we have a low here. If you envision those as stair steps, these stair steps are making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what a genuine strong move is going to do. Not necessarily go straight up, but at least show signs of progress. And again, the quote unquote sign of progress is staying above that $24 mark right there. In terms of areas of resistance in the very near term, key battleground seems to be right there at the $26 mark. And then from an overarching standpoint, just in case it goes on one of its big moves, keep an eye on that pink line up there. The 200 period moving average currently valued right around $27.10. But like I said, from a big picture standpoint, good solid move today. Put in a higher stair step, and that's what matters from an overall trend building perspective. Next one, TQQQ, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watch previous videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me talking about this red line here at 75.50. That's essentially right where the party stopped today, earlier on in the day. Price pulled back. And on the good news front, price pulled back, but as I've talked about in past videos and how the ideal level is that purple line right there, meaning that would make the chart look the healthiest and strongest. On this bigger pullback here, I mean, the price got kind of close to that purple line, but never even tested it. So, you know, not only is the price still above there, didn't even test it today. Whereas previous day, you can see the price actually tested that purple line several times. But today, you know, the bears weren't even strong enough to, you know, bring it down to test that level. So that in and of itself, nice little sign of strength. Now, if the price does drop below that purple line, you still have 72.75 right there. And then you also have that 200 period moving average currently valued at 72.18. But again, that is a moving average. So that line is going to move itself higher and higher with each passing day. So overall, though, you know, maybe a little disappointed that this big move here pulled back, but still very healthy, staying above areas of support. So from a healthy consolidation viewpoint, you really can't ask for much more. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders, again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for that free live class. It'll be this evening, Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. But like I said already, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead and send me an email to clay@claytrader.com. But if you can't make it live, and it is truly live, so bring question and answers. There will be a Q&A session, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. So definitely get signed up, especially if you have any sort of questions. So go get signed up. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick note here, I am now using the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours, and I like to do that just because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and this will allow the analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible. Now, if you've watched the past videos, you know that we've been watching 60,200, and nothing has changed there. So whether you're watching this video an hour after I upload it or 20 hours after I upload it, question number one remains the same. Whenever you watch this, immediately ask yourself, where is the price at relative to 60,200? And as long as you're saying, yeah, Clay, the price is above that level, then even if it was down around here, it goes back to that whole showing signs of progress. Because if the price is above there, that implies you have this base right here. And when you compare that with that previous low right there, you still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So on that note, so far so good. Price has done a fantastic job of maintaining above 60,200. Now, if you're answering the question that the price is above there, next immediate question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that purple line right there, the 50 period moving average? If you're answering the question that the price is also up above there, that would be telling you that not only has this consolidation been healthy, but it's gained enough strength now to push up through that purple line, which, to offer up a little bit more perspective, you can see, been a long time since the price has been up above that line. You can see right there, rejected the price, rejected the price, rejected the price. So I'm not saying the price can't break above that purple line. It just is illustrating that that is a very stubborn area of resistance. Now, if you're saying the price is down below 60,200, well, how far down below? Any sort of answer of the price being down below 57,200, telling you that's a train wreck scenario. Very, very bad. The bears have fully taken back over of the current downtrend. So yes, the trend is still down, but it's showing some signs of weakness. But all that weakness would be gone if all of a sudden the price is down below that level. So walk yourself through those questions, then that'll keep this analysis relevant for the next 24 hours until I'm back to do another update. As I invite the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to go get signed up for this free training. Like I said, it'll be tonight, Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern time, because what you're learning about in the class can and definitely should be used within your crypto and Bitcoin trading. And also, like I said, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. And please bring your questions. Like I was saying, it is truly live, so I'd be happy to answer any sort of questions that you do have. So go get signed up for it. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Like I said, if you have a request, leave that comment below, or give me your watch list for tomorrow. All the sorts of those interactions do help out with the video and the algorithm, so I thank you in advance for it. So thanks for watching. Take care, and go get signed up for that free training.